Hello everybody. Yesterday we could finally open ImGUI with SDL2 and Vulkan, but now this is not clean here and we want to make it cleaner, and we only want to have the file that we are using, and in our folder we want to only have the things that we are using to minimize the confusion of everything, and that's what we are doing today. And let's start. So now we have it much cleaner. We have copied the example from before, and I have made a new folder. It is called calculator. Now we have our backends. Here are the APIs that I have. I have deleted the other ones, and only the ones that we use are here. And for the examples, we have only the example for Vulkan here, and I created the Visual Studios that I can work with it. And that's basically all. But one thing I have to fix, because if we run this, it works. But we have one problem, and this is when we go to our files and to our ImGUI that I copied it from. And for example, I delete it. We can reset this after that. And I run it now. You can see it will not run. And now we don't want to run the last one, so we say no. And you can see we have no SDL headers and Vulkan headers. So this was linked to the other project. We can restore ImGUI again, and we make the linking. We reverse the linking, or we put it in our example that we have created here. And let's try that we can run it. Now I have deleted all the directories from this project, and now when we run it, we can see we still have an error because I haven't made new directories. For this, I have already made a folder called lib here, and I've put the SDL include files and the libraries in here, and the same for Vulkan. And this is now the path that we have to link, and that's what I'm doing now. I think I'm doing it with you. For this, I have to go on properties, and then here first look that you have all configurations and all platforms, and then you can go to C++, go on general, and then on here. Here are the include files, and I try to include Vulkan now. And for this, I add a new one and go on my folder for programming, the example, lib, Vulkan, and the include, and then add that to it. And when I want to run it again, now I can look what error will occur now. And you can see there is some error, and we look at it. It wants the SDL headers now. And we do that now. We go on properties, on the same one, we are already on it, on general, and then we include the SDL files. And we go here again, programming, calculator, examples, lib, SDL, and our include file from the SDL. We include that, and we go back, and we can run our debug again, and let's see what he shows us now. Now he says it is not linked, and we link it now. And we go again on properties, and here we go on linker, and we have to put that on. We have to see here in general, the input is already made to Vulkan 1 SDL2 library and SDL2 main. Those are already set. That's what he says here. Cannot open file Vulkan 1 lib because it's not linked. For this, we have to go on library and add a new directory. And for this, we add a new one here. We go again through our documents, examples, lib. We add first the Vulkan one, because the error is from the Vulkan one, we add this library and we say OK, and we run it again, and this error should change now, and it actually works. But there is still an error because the was not found as the two main libraries. So because we have not linked the STL library, it says we have an error. And we do that now because we don't want some more errors to occur. So we go again on properties, linker, general, and add our STL as well. We add here a new one, go through our folders again, examples, lib, and then STL. We take this x64, it is the right folder, and then say OK, that's the one that we want, and then OK, and then we can run it, and everything should work with no errors. So, and now our project looks much cleaner, and maybe I've noticed it, I changed the project name, and for Visual Studios that is very easy. You can just go here on rename and this is done, but I also changed it in our files. And for that it's a little bit more complicated because it can cause some errors because you have new names, and it can copy files because they're not named correctly, and it has to make new files. And for that we have to close Visual Studios, and now we can just add something to it, and you have to be sure that you add it everywhere the same, for example like this, and then you make this everywhere. You don't have to make it here on my calculator, but here in this example you have to go through in here and make it for every single one after my calculator, do the adjustment, and then it will not cause any errors. And when you have done that, you can go on my calculator again on Visual Studios, and then you will get an error, but that's completely fine, and you can just remove your project, you don't delete it, and then you can just add an existing project, and you say this is my calculator, then you go on the project from it, and then you can run the local debugger again, and everything should completely fine, and you have still no errors, and everything is good. And it is very necessary that you also change all the names in the file inside this my calculator file, because otherwise the debugger has problems with the linking, and it will duplicate some files, and it will say from an error that you have some files from another project in your document, and you have to remove it again, and that's not what you want. And for example, if you want to change a name before, here in this example on the first page of our IMGUI document, or from the IGUI files, for example, if you want to change the examples to something else, you would have to change the links and the connections to all our libraries. And this is because libraries are linked to the path with the examples, and when you change examples, they don't know where to belong anymore. And I can simulate this by changing that. For example, I just put the S from the example away, and because I have open Visual Studios, I quickly close it. I can change the name, and when I start Visual Studios again, you can see we get some errors when we debug our project. The same as at the start of our video today, and it says we have the error, and those are just the errors that occur because there are no libraries assigned to it. And we can just fix that by putting the S in here again, and then everything should be fine, and we can start our project as normal. And we have a much cleaner setup for our calculator that we want to program. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it or learned something. And with that, I say bye.